Namaste, Swagatam, Namaskaram to everyone. Thank you, viewers, for joining us today. This is our 254th episode of Words of Wisdom Gyan Ganga. Before we jump into the program, we are now starting to begin with sharing about our old history, our real history for that matter. But then we're going to talk about some freedom fighters today. We're going to talk about V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. He's also known as Kappalottiya Tamilan. He is the first Indian to start a shipping company and run ships, for which he had to go through a lot of pain. But so we're just going to see a small video about him, a short clip about V.O. Chidambaram Pillai. Tejas, can you just play that video?
Namaste everyone. Today we delve into the inspiring story of V.O. Chidambaram Pillai, also known as VOC, born on September 5th, 1872 in Ottapidaram. VOC was a true Tamilian hero who fought for India's freedom from the British rule. People called him Kappalottiya Tamilan, meaning the Tamilian who launched ships. VOC's life was a real adventure. The British controlled all the shipping lines and ships in India, but in 1906, VOC started his own shipping company, the first Indian-owned shipping company. He aimed to break the British monopoly and traveled across India, urging people to invest in his company, despite facing numerous challenges from the British, but VOC never gave up. The British imprisoned VOC twice, sentenced him to 2 life terms. Life in jail was very harsh. He was forced to do hard labor and his hands bled from working on a jute machine. They even made him pull a heavy oil press like an animal. But VOC's bravery shone through. He refused to leave jail unless his friends were also freed, showcasing his immense sacrifice. Despite his family's wealth and his success as a lawyer, VOC gave everything he had to fight for freedom. Upon his release, he had almost no money left. Lokmanya Tilak provided him with a small monthly allowance, but it wasn't much. Still, VOC never stopped fighting and inspired countless people. Farmers, barbers, shoemakers, everyone looked up to him. One barber even named his children Vande and Mataram to honor VOC. VOC learned a lot from the other great leaders like Lokmanya Tilak as a child. He loved to read stories about Lord Shiva and the Ramayana, which taught him about courage and righteousness. He even left his job as a lawyer to fight for the freedom, demonstrating his unwavering dedication. So the next time you think about India's freedom fighters, remember VOC. He launched the ships in India.
So, Dr. Swamy, now we'll come for today's topic. We're going to talk about a tribute to Dr. MANMOHAN Singh, a very good friend of yours, and a person who was respected immensely across the globe, in spite of people in India calling him an accidental PM, whatnot, but for his scholarship. So there is a saying in Tamil, "Kattrorukku sentramidamellam sirappu." So where a learned person is always honored wherever he goes. I think he had immense respect in the US, at least to that extent I can confirm, because 2 presidents had a lot of respect for him in this country. So we're going to begin with that. And here Dr. Swamy has been very closely associated with him, because we're going to listen from Dr. Swamy directly. And after that, we were just going to talk about 2024. I mean, since we're almost, just a couple of days away from the end of 2024, significant events in 24. I mean, what changed? What was the focus, the Indian political scene, the economy, the whole swath of subjects, and what can we expect in 24? We have Dr. Arvind Chaturvedi with us. He has had, very close working relation with Dr. Swamy when he was in the ministry. He has also worked with Dr. Manmohan Singh in the finance ministry. After that, we're going to hear from him and his perspectives on 24 and what we see ahead in 25. So, Dr. Swamy, with this, over to you, and we can begin with your experience with Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Well, my relationship with Manmohan Singh goes back to 1968, when I was still teaching at Harvard. But the then Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, B.N. Ganguly, sent me a letter saying that he would like me to come to India and be a professor at the Delhi School of Economics. And at the same time, Manmohan Singh also was invited to be a professor of international trade. He got his degrees from England, Cambridge, and so on. And when I turned up in Delhi for taking up my professorship at the Delhi School of Economics, Mrs. Gandhi had split the Congress, and the left went to the top, and Amartya Sen and K.N. Raj and a few other Bengali Marxists. They prevented me from becoming a professor, despite the fact I'd already been given a letter inviting me to become a professor at Delhi School. But it doesn't matter. I came to IIT because there was a vacancy, and everybody told me not to apply, saying that Mrs. Gandhi has laid down the law that you will not be selected under any circumstance. But unfortunately for her, Manmohan Singh was made the chairman of the selection committee. And Manmohan Singh, for some reason, which I came to know later on, he called one of the top economists of America to be on the committee. And as soon as the committee started hearing who should be selected from the list, he asked this professor, and the professor said, "What is there to discuss?" Subramanian Swamy is a joint author with Paul Samuelson. I would like to give my right arm for it if I could be a joint author with Paul Samuelson. And so, there's nothing further to discuss. Now, all the others were tongue-tied, and so Manmohan Singh said, I should become the professor. I became professor of IIT. Of course, Mrs. Gandhi later on got me sacked from IIT. And after that, after 25 years, I won in the court and came back and got all my back salary, and then told the IIT that I'm resigning. I'm not going to stay with you. So all these things I'm mentioning where anybody else would have not stood up for a friend the way Manmohan Singh stood. Later on, I became a minister in Chandrasekhar's government. And Chandrasekhar asked me who should we have as economic advisor or advisor for the prime minister's advisor for economics. So I said the best person would be Manmohan Singh, but he's gone to Geneva. He's left India. I must have been disgusted, I don't know. But he had left and he joined the UN in Geneva. So he said, "No, unko bulao," he told me, Chandrasekhar told me. So I sent word to him. He immediately came, and he made only one condition, that Montek Singh Ahluwalia should be also taken into this civil service. So Montek Singh Ahluwalia was made finance secretary, and Manmohan Singh became advisor to us. And we had, in fact, started the economic, the giving up all this socialism, etc., was started.
The blueprint, essentially, Doctor.
The blueprint. And that was implemented by Narasimha Rao, whose government also I had a cabinet rank position. And Manmohan Singh had become finance minister, and Manmohan Singh played a tremendous role in explaining to Narasimha Rao what are the various things that should be done in what form, and Narasimha Rao carried it out. That's how we got this change, which put our growth rate, which from Nehru's time onwards till Indira Gandhi's time, was growth rate never exceeded 3.5% per year in GDP. But after Narasimha Rao took over with Manmohan Singh as finance minister, the growth rate went up to 7 to 8% per year. And today, 7% is no big deal for us, even though the present government has not been able to get much acceleration in the GDP. But over the last so many decades, since 1990, our growth rate has been 7%, at least in Narasimha Rao's period, it was 8%. So all this happened with Mr. Manmohan Singh providing the advice and the correct advice, and Manmohan Singh was a great favorite with our then Prime Minister, and we suddenly became a major country, and we were a challenge to China and so on. In 2004, when Vajpayee lost majority, and the question became whether Sonia Gandhi, who was leader of the Congress party, would become the Prime Minister. They didn't have a majority, but Sharad Pawar and all these people then joined up, gave it in writing that they would support her. And she was then quite, I mean, it was all very clear that she would become Prime Minister, and she went to the Rashtrapati Bhavan to stake a claim, and lo and behold, our then president, he told her that there is a letter from Subramanian Swamy saying that she is not entitled to be the Prime Minister of India under the law. And the law was this, that according to our Citizenship Act, any person who becomes a citizen from another country of India will be subject to the same restrictions that are imposed, which an Indian becomes in their country. So if an Indian becomes a citizen of Italy, and there are some restrictions placed on him, those restrictions will be placed on an Italian becoming a citizen of India. And so in Italy, if you are not born in Italy, you cannot be Prime Minister. It's there in writing. So therefore, Sonia Gandhi could not become Prime Minister. Manmohan Singh at that time was taken by Miss Sonia Gandhi to meet the president, and the president was very, very firm. He said, "This is the law, and I'm not going to go out of it." She was in very emotional situation. I don't want to give the exact things that happened, but finally she had kept Manmohan Singh waiting in another room. The president said, "Call Manmohan Singh, and I'll make him Prime Minister temporarily. If you can prove that this law is illegal, and by going to court, then we can reconsider." So that's how Manmohan Singh became Prime Minister. And as Prime Minister, today they may all say wonderful, wonderful, but he was not allowed to function. Whatever ideas he had, they would not do it. I myself remember one day when the 2G matter was going on, I called up Manmohan Singh and I told him, "What is this Raja from DMK doing?" He said, what he's doing is going to damage the country in terms of the way he has gone on allocating money from his ministry. So then he told me that he doesn't listen to me. I said, "You're the Prime Minister of India." He said, "Well, that's my fate. He doesn't listen to me." I have talked to Raja also, and he said, "Why should I talk to Sonia Gandhi and she gave me clearance?" So today to say Manmohan Singh was a great thing, I mean, it's all rubbish. I will say that Manmohan Singh conducted himself with dignity. He remained Prime Minister for 10 years. There are things he did where he couldn't be interfered with. For instance, when Gotabaya from Sri Lanka came to India, he met Manmohan Singh and wanted to know that he said that we have surrounded this LTT fellow Prabhakaran and we can kill him or we can send him to some other country, or if you want to take him in India, you can take him. You please tell us what we have to do, because in Sri Lanka, everybody thinks India should be on board. So he, to his credit, and I was a witness because it happened, some of the talks took place in a wedding. There were all three of us there. He told to Gotabaya that you should finish him off for what he did to Rajiv Gandhi. So there's no question of anybody whether, Rajiv Gandhi's widow was, in a sense, through Chidambaram, was advocating that we should not we should not use violence against Prabhakaran and kill him and so on. So there he showed his mettle, because it was totally in his hand. But generally speaking, he was not able to do anything, and he stayed there. I know that in so many other things, in 2G matter, he was totally, he was zero. There's no such thing as Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister in that case. There were other things also in which he didn't have any say. But in the end, the decency of the man is the one thing that strikes me, that I have never met a more decent person, straightforward person than him. Whether he was a tough guy and not a tough guy, whether he was a weakling, all these are secondary issues. When a person is true, when the person is not a liar, when he is a man who sticks to his word if he gives his word, and if he can't give his word also, he tells, I know I am not in a position. I think as a human being, he was extraordinary. But to say that he was a great president, now Rahul Gandhi is talking about how great a man he was and what a pleasure it was and so on. Rahul Gandhi, in front of everybody in the television, he took what a document prepared by Manmohan Singh and tore it up in public and said, this is all rubbish. People who were in 2010 witnesses to it have never forgotten that. Today, to say that, we were so proud to have him as our Prime Minister, is all rubbish. But Manmohan Singh did have 10 years. He did do it, and there were many things he did quietly, which cannot be properly brought out. I don't know it. His wife is also much tougher than him. I always admired her ability to be tough about everything, and she was a different type of person, but she was his strength. She's supported him, and she stood up for him, and so on. So they, all in all, Manmohan Singh was a very decent human being, but to say that he was a great Prime Minister, I cannot say with a conscience. This is what I have to say just now.
Arvindji, would you like to say a few words based on your experience too?
सबसे पहले तो मैं बताऊं कि मनमोहन सिंह जी को पूरी लाइमलाइट में 1990 के बाद लाने वाले डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी थे। डॉक्टर स्वामी ने भी बताया कि जब चंद्रशेखर की सरकार बनी तो प्रधानमंत्री के आर्थिक सलाहकार के लिए नाम डॉक्टर स्वामी ने सुझाया था। मैं मंत्रालय में डॉक्टर स्वामी के साथ था और डॉक्टर स्वामी ने मुझे कहा कि आप मनमोहन सिंह जी से संपर्क करो। मैंने उनको फोन मिलाया, शायद उन दिनों वो निजामुद्दीन में रहते थे। मैंने कहा डॉक्टर स्वामी आपसे मिलना चाहते हैं, तो उन्होंने बोला मेरे पास गाड़ी नहीं है, आप गाड़ी भेज दो। तो मेरे पास उन दिनों एक ऑफिशियल कार होती थी, स्टेट ट्रेडिंग कॉर्पोरेशन की एम्बेसडर कार थी। तो मैंने अपने ड्राइवर, मुझे नाम याद है, बलकार सिंह नाम था ड्राइवर का, मैंने बलकार सिंह को गाड़ी लेके मनमोहन सिंह जी के घर भेजा। मनमोहन सिंह जी आए, डॉक्टर स्वामी से उद्योग भवन में मुलाकात की और वो उन्होंने स्वीकार किया जो डॉक्टर स्वामी ने प्रस्ताव दिया था। फिर डॉक्टर स्वामी उनको लेकर चंद्रशेखर जी के यहाँ गए प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय में, और अब 2-3 दिन के बाद उनका अपॉइंटमेंट हो गया एज ए एडवाइजर टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर, इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर टू प्राइम मिनिस्टर। तो ये कहानी है। अगर डॉक्टर स्वामी जो उनको नहीं लाते, साउथ कमीशन में जब जिनेवा में डॉक्टर स्वामी ने बताया उनका 3 साल का कार्यकाल था, वो पूरा हो चुका था और वो भारत वापस आ चुके थे। तो उन्हीं दिनों की बात है, अगर डॉक्टर स्वामी उनको नहीं लाते तो संभव नरसिम्हा राव भी उनको प्रधानमंत्री नहीं बनाते। तो ये बहुत बड़ी भूमिका थी, पहली बात। दूसरी बात ये कि ये सभी विदित है कि आर्थिक सुधारों का जो सूत्रपात हुआ, द बिगिनिंग initiation of the economic reform was done by a blueprint by Dr. Swamy. And Dr. Swamy prepared that blueprint, which was carried. Of course, Montek Singh Ahluwalia was the Commerce Secretary at that time. And since Manmohan Singh became advisor, so in fact, अभी recently जब मनमोहन सिंह जी की डेथ हुई तो टेलीविजन पर भी किसी पत्रकार ने भी कहा, अगर ये 3 लोग नहीं होते तो उसमें देश में आर्थिक सुधार लागू नहीं होते। और इन 3 लोगों में मनमोहन सिंह, मोन्टेक सिंह अहलूवालिया और डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी का नाम था। दूसरी बात मैं बताऊं कि डॉक्टर स्वामी की एक पुस्तक का विमोचन हुआ था, बुक रिलीज हुआ था इंडिया इंटरनेशनल सेंटर में, और मनमोहन सिंह जी आए थे उस कार्यक्रम में, और खुले आम जनता के बीच में उन्होंने अपने भाषण में कहा कि डॉक्टर स्वामी ने ये काम शुरू किया, और जब मैं वित्त मंत्री बना और तब मैंने इस काम को आगे बढ़ाया। तो अब श्रेय लेने की जहां तक बात है, तमाम लोग श्रेय लेते रहेंगे और इतिहास लिखता रहेगा, लेकिन मैं चूंकि शामिल था डॉक्टर स्वामी के साथ इस प्रक्रिया में, मुझे पता है कि किस तरह डॉक्टर स्वामी ने दिन रात लग के ये काम शुरू किया था। दूसरा मैं बताऊं, 3 साल के लिए मैं, मनमोहन सिंह जी जब वित्त मंत्री थे तो मैं उनकी हिंदी सलाहकार समिति का मेंबर था, और हिंदी सलाहकार समिति का बैठक 3 महीने में 4 महीने में एक बार होती थी। तो मेरे ख्याल से उनके पूरे मेरे 3 साल के कार्यकाल में जब मैं मेंबर था तो शायद 7-8 मीटिंग हुई होंगी। मनमोहन सिंह जी बहुत ज्यादा हिंदी के पक्षधर नहीं थे, और उनकी हिंदी बहुत मजबूत नहीं थी। सारे जो कागज आते थे, पेपर जो बनते थे, एवरीथिंग यूज्ड टू बी इन हिंदी, तो उनको थोड़ा तकलीफ होता था, दिक्कत होती थी। लेकिन जब वो बोलते थे तो उनका उर्दू पर बहुत अच्छा कमांड था, तो वो उर्दू और हिंदी शब्दों को मिक्स करके अपना मीटिंग में तो काम चला लेते थे। और जहां तक उनकी उर्दू शायरी की बात है तो दुनिया भर में लोगों ने तारीफ की है, और पार्लियामेंट के अंदर भी अपने भाषण में उन्होंने बड़ी शेर व शायरी की है, और मनमोहन सिंह जी को एक उर्दू शायरी का फैन माना जा सकता था। तो ये मनमोहन सिंह जी की बात हुई। और जहां तक रिफॉर्म की बात है, उनपे कई मौकरी वाली फिल्म बनी, एक एक्सीडेंटल प्राइम मिनिस्टर नाम से संजय बारू ने किताब लिखी। संजय बारू उनके साथ मंत्रालय में थे, प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय में थे, और उसके बाद में एक फिल्म बनी, अनुपम खेर ने डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह का रोल किया था उस फिल्म में, और उस समय एक तरह से उनका मजाक उड़ाया गया था उस फिल्म में, जो मैं समझता हूं उन जैसे एक अर्थशास्त्री के लिए इतना उचित नहीं था। लोग people give the credit of economic reforms to P.V. Narasimha Rao. P.V. Narasimha Rao had only this much contribution, that he accepted boldly what Manmohan Singh had suggested to him. In fact, I would not say that more credit should go to P.V. Narasimha Rao as Prime Minister for Economic Reform. I would say more credit should go to Finance Minister. So Manmohan Singh's Finance Minister tenure was much more contribution to the country's economy rather than his 10 years as Prime Minister. So this is as far as this is Manmohan Singh is concerned. And today, of course, I would say after his death, I also felt that looking at the contribution and comparing his contribution with other Prime Minister like Atal Bihari Vajpayee or others, those who got a place near Rajghat, I demanded that he should have been given a position, a place of cremation near Rajghat, and a memorial should have gone. But why did Congress not oppose it? Though Mallikarjun Kharge wrote a letter and all that, but the Gandhi family did not want anybody to steal the limelight. And they would not have liked it if Manmohan Singh was given such an honor, because then their importance in the party would have gone down. So therefore, I blame Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi for not taking it up, and not Rahul may give the statement that it was an insult and all that. I agree with that part. But I think the guilty was Gandhi family and not Narendra Modi in not giving him this. Of course, Narendra Modi also, he claims to be the Vishwaguru, or on the path of being Vishwaguru. So he would not like anybody else to get importance. And that is the reason why Manmohan Singh was not given that much. Nigam Bodh Ghat, his cremation, in last 40, 50 years, no prime minister has ever been cremated at Nigam Bodh Ghat. Though there have been some prime ministers who have been cremated outside Delhi, like BP Singh or Narasimha Rao and others, but those who are cremated in Delhi also always got some important place. Even Chaudhry Charan Singh. Was given a place near Rajghat, and that place is called Kisan Ghat. And of course, Rajiv Gandhi belonging to Nehru family, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Now, Amit Shah gave the reason that we need to create a trust and we have to acquire the land and all that. How was the land acquired within few hours for Atal Bihari Vajpayee, which could not have been done for Manmohan Singh? So, well, of course, the political reasons are also more important. But then I think Manmohan Singh deserved much more respect of the country than he got from the present government.
Thank you, Arvindi. Thank you, Dr. Swamy. So we'll just move to the next topic. We're right in the 15 in the mark. So Dr. Swamy, 2024, it has been tumultuous as far as India is concerned, be it the outcome of the elections, what is going on inside the country, be it the Manipur violence, be it the economy. You take all aspects, what we see, and basically even the international, outlook as to where we are today. I would like to hear from both of you about, what 2024 was for India. And to some extent, we're not here soothsayers, we can't predict the future to a large extent, but based on what we know today, what can we expect in 2025? Because given that there's a change of guard in the US, Europe is in its own turmoil, globally, a lot of challenges are happening. So something, first of all, let's just cover 24. Hear your perspectives on 24, and then move on to what can we hear about in 2025. Thank you.
Well, let me say, this last year, the rate of growth of GDP is the lowest since Jawaharlal Nehru's time. It's almost 4% per year. And I'm willing to challenge anybody. And in fact, it has been put out, but it's been suppressed. The data, the publication has been suppressed. So the 2024 was a disaster as far as the economy is concerned. 2024 was a sellout to the Chinese, because whatever the Chinese wanted, they have got. And they have got it by a new agreement that this belongs to China, or that it is a no man's land. Neither side has it, and this kind of thing. And if we are not going to, if neither side has it, then the Chinese will have it, because they are very good at patrolling. We have to get every order from the Prime Minister's office for patrolling. It doesn't happen. So it's a sellout. Third thing is, for the first time in our entire history, we have been accused of murdering people abroad. And the name of the Home Minister is there, prominently there. This is a disaster. Our country is, is supposed to be a Vishwaguru country. And here we are finding that people are being sent to kill people, and where? In the United States, and getting caught, in Canada and getting caught. What they must be doing in other countries? And finally, we have surrendered in Bangladesh. Bangladesh was created by us. And when we created it, and before the Indian Army went into Dhaka, we had an agreement with the then president, or the president to be president nominated for Free Bangladesh, because Mujibur was in jail, so they had to pick some name. He and Indira Gandhi sat together and wrote an agreement that in the future, when there is an independent Bangladesh, if there is any action, atrocity on Hindus, the word Hindu is there, then the Indian Army can enter Bangladesh without prior permission of the Bangladesh government. This is there in writing. I produced it this time. I sent it to the Prime Minister's office also. You don't need any permission. You just have to show this is an agreement. And it has not been disowned. And the army should have gone across. How many people of ours have been killed? And even today, they are all living in fear. So what I would say is that Mr. Narendra Modi has been found out. He is a coward when it comes to taking action. And he is all is interested in it, using the media to make out that he is somehow a very great person. The sooner we get rid of him, the better, and as quickly as possible. Arvind.
I think for India, there have been 2-3 events which are worth remembering, for which 2024 will be known. One is the Pran Pratishtha. We started the year 2024 with the Pran Pratishtha, 22nd of January. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, there was a lot of controversy. उस कंट्रोवर्सी में हम नहीं भी जाएं, विवाद में नहीं भी जाएं कि शंकराचार्य को बुलाया नहीं बुलाया, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा कैसे हुई, कैसे होनी चाहिए थी. बट मैं समझता हूं कि भारत की दृष्टि से एक बहुत बड़ा 2024 का एक इवेंट था, which will be remembered for ages to come, and it was very significant this time. Second one was the Lok Sabha election. How can we forget? The elections take place every 5 years, we all know it. But the way after completing 10 years tenure, when the BJP went to the polls with Narendra Modi as the prime ministerial candidate once again, the seats were reduced more than 60 Lok Sabha seats, which was very, very significant. And now people may say that there was election commission's role in not counting the votes properly or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to that controversy, or even EVM. I'm not blaming the EVM. But yes, the country, especially some parts of Maharashtra and some parts of Uttar Pradesh, they played a very significant role in teaching a lesson to BJP and Narendra Modi. Significant impact was that in Ayodhya, Faizabad Lok Sabha seat, BJP lost. And the pain of losing Ayodhya is so much that when the Ayodhya, the Milkipur MLA, who became the MP from Faizabad, when the by-election was due, UP government postponed the by-election. Out of 10 assembly seats where by-election was due, only 9 elections took place last month or last month, and 1 seat was still. So the Ayodhya seat, I mean, which is actually Ayodhya Lok Sabha constituency, Milkipur Assembly, is still pending. And Yogi Adityanath is doing anything that he can do to win that seat whenever the elections are called, the by-elections are called. So it is very significant event, I think, part of the 2024 that we should be remembering. And as far as the other events are concerned, one event which stole the headlines for more than 3 months continuously was a rape of a doctor in West Bengal. We talk about women equality and things like that, but the mentality of the people in the country, India is the rape capital of the world. And the way the treatment was given to this doctor, and the way West Bengal government was not effective in taking the action and arrest and all that. Of course, when the court intervened, then only all these things happened. So these 3 or 4 events which are very, very significant from India's point of view. And of course, when we look at internationally, Donald Trump, return of Donald Trump, and Bangladesh, Dr. Swamy mentioned about Bangladesh. Actually, this is also a very important lesson for India. Bangladesh, the change of power or exit of Sheikh Hasina started with the movement from the students. And what was the movement about? Movement was about the reservation in jobs given to the people who belong to that party, which Sheikh Mujibur Rahman had led in the beginning. So the sentiments were, again, now people say whether which country was behind this movement and all that. I'm not going into that controversy, but that movement was basically against the reservations because jobs were not there. Now, similar situation has happened in India. Even today, if you look at the unemployment situation, unemployment is one of the highest. And though in India, it is a sin to talk about reservation. Whether it is SC, ST or OBC or whatever, we have 50%, more than 50% reservation. And then you have some other categories for which state governments, like in Maharashtra, there is a Maratha agitation for reservation. In Rajasthan, there have been several agitations for Jat and Gujar reservation. So reservation is one of the culprit, I think, which is stopping the progress of the country, because merit has no place in this country. And this is the lesson we should learn from Bangladesh.
Very good.
Dr. Swamy, quickly, let me jump in on the topics that both of you covered. In a sense, I think 2024 was a great year of opportunity for Narendra Modi, and I don't think that happened. The biggest takeaway that we can see, he ignored a lot of the major issues that were going on in India. Specifically, when it comes to one, you already explained, Dr. Swamy, about the economy. We have discussed that at length in multiple episodes before, Arvindji. But I think letdown of the people, in my view, is very significant. Be it Manipur, be it in the border in Bangladesh, be it in Ladakh, that area, whatever, the border area, anywhere across the country, one very significant pattern or a very consistent pattern is Modi tends to run away from problems. In the sense that he doesn't want to address them, he ignores them. He thinks just by ignoring the problems go away. But unfortunately, he has not still realized, because of that, the way he kind of he ignored all these things, resulted in what we saw in the elections. He still doesn't seem to realize that. I think that is a significant setback, or even for a significant flaw in what we see from the Prime Minister's perspective. Even globally, he still thinks that his calculations in India, what I am a PM here, and also like he made a disastrous move, Dr. Swamy, with respect to the US elections. As far as I think you have mentioned this, but I wanted to let you know, saying that him first agreeing to meet President-elect Trump, and then abandoning it is going to have an impact. Okay, so I am telling you that, 25 is going to be a very significant year for many countries, because globally the economy is starting to turn around, and India needs as many friends as possible rather than foes. I think that's one significant issue to begin with. So, Dr. Swamy, I'll begin with that, and then if I have a few other questions, so we can go from there.
I'll take this point about Biden and his opponent and
Trump
Modi.
yeah.
The thing is, what is the key factor which we don't, we don't pick it up in our newspapers? When Modi announced that he was going to the United Nations to address it, which every country has a right to do, and he was not invited, he went as an Indian Prime Minister. He asked for Biden to give him an appointment in Washington. And Biden said, I can't give it to you in Washington, but I'm going to my hometown of Wilmington, and which is halfway to New York. And there I can hold a meeting for Quad. And they held a meeting for Quad, that is those 4 nations. And they had only one item, and that is to give freedom for a plutocrat of America to sell his smallpox or whatever, some medicines that he had to sell. It was only for that. Now, what happened is when it was announced that Quad meeting is going to take place and Modi is coming, our opposition member, who's now going to be the prime president, he immediately said, "Oh, Modi is my friend. I will go and meet him."
Yeah, but he significantly let down Trump that way.
Yes, he said, "I'm going to go and meet him." Trump said that he's my friend. I'm going to meet him. And what did Modi say? Modi said, "No, I am not going to meet him." Now, I can't believe anybody with any diplomatic sense would even say that, even if he was not going to meet him. He was told by Biden that you better make this statement, and he did. And at that time, it didn't look as if
Trump
was going to win. Was going to win at all. So today, Trump has not given any opening to any Indian. That fellow, what is his name?
Jaishankar.
Or foreign
Jaishankar.
Jaishankar. He's just hanging around there. They're not giving him any time. No one has been able to meet, even though Trump has so many Tamils on his team, but no one is even speaking up for India. I mean, if the Chinese are never going to be for you, you can say koi gaya, and you can bluff Indians like that. The Chinese will just take whatever they want because they know this is a weak, darpok government. So they will continue to go on nibbling, and making it their country. So there's no problem there. The Americans have already found him out. It is nothing. He's not serious. Even Biden was not very well disposed to him. So now with Trump in authority, we are going to have a hell of a time if Modi is not replaced. I would suggest very strongly to the BJP that in their national interest, ask Mr. Modi that you have done enough. You have done 10 years. Now you're in your 11th year. And just retire and go. But nobody seems to be doing that. But we are going to lose because tomorrow, if the Chinese were to take over the Northeast, there's nothing we can do. If the Chinese allowed the people in the Northeast of India to secede, they will not be in a position to do anything. Where are we taking a stand on anything? So I see a very gloomy picture, and it's not something that we can't get out of it. So therefore, I'm saying today to the public, don't go by. People want me to be disciplined in the party, Well, I am disciplined. I am trying to see that the party survives and its credibility is not destroyed. Otherwise, what is going to happen? After, in case something horrible happens in our border, for example, or the economy collapses. I've been warning about the economy. Now, Arvind has brought the statistics also of it. How will we show our face to the public? I want to know. We have already come down very sharply in terms of voting, despite all the money that we put into it. More money, we spend more money than any other party, and yet our number of vote has gone down. So I think, require now a change. We require some fresh faces to come and run the party for the remaining term that is there for the country.
So अरविंद जी, आपकी एक सवाल आपसे, ये बात है कि जो मीडिया जो है इंडिया में, तो अभी जो हम लोग कह लेते हैं कि गोदी मीडिया, उनके बारे में, और व्हाट इम्पैक्ट, बिकॉज ऑफ देम बीइंग साइलेंट, एकदम चुपचाप रहते हैं, तारीफ ही करते हैं, मतलब जो भी करना है, मतलब क्रिटिसिज्म, ऑब्जेक्टिव और प्रैक्टिकल क्रिटिसिज्म, वो नहीं किया. डू यू थिंक दैट हैज एनी?
I think it is a very, very important issue. And if you look at the global position of India's media, Media Freedom Index, I don't remember the exact rank, but it is some 134, 135 media freedom in India, which is one of the largest media, both electronic and print. Now, I remember those days when there were no TV channels other than the government Doordarshan. So Doordarshan was used by the government. Naturally, it was Congress government earlier. Succeeding Congress government, they always used Doordarshan as a propaganda machinery.
तो हमेशा रहते हैं, वैसे ही था ना पहले से.
What has happened? But after the introduction of the private channels, the situation was not as bad as this. In the last 10 years, actually, the way the arms of the media have been twisted by the ruling people, the media has totally surrendered. And people have also realized this. The readership of the newspapers has gone down.
That's right.
If you look at the growth of the educated people, growth of the literate people, and the growth of the circulation of the newspapers, it has gone down per capita readership. Maybe because of electronic media. But the way electronic media is behaving, I have not seen this behavior even when Doordarshan was the only channel propagating the government policies. So media is worse. And as I said, the freedom index of the media, whatever it is called, it is one of the worst situation in compared to even the other smaller countries. And no electronic media or the mainline newspaper, they are giving highlight. For example, if an opposition party member makes a statement, they hardly find. In fact, the anchors of these channels on the electronic media, they work as if they are the spokesperson of the ruling party.
वो तो हो चुका है ना अरविंद जी, हाल ऐसा है कि अभी जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया है, उनका रेपुटेशन भी चला गया. अभी लोग तो अभी सोशल मीडिया और सम अदर वे लोग तो पहचान लेते हैं कि अभी इसमें भरोसा कर सकते हैं.
लोगों को अब ये विश्वास हो गया है कि इन चैनलों के भरोसे सच्चाई जानने के लिए हमें प्राइवेट जो सोशल मीडिया के लोग हैं वहां जाना पड़ेगा. और ऐसे चैनल पॉपुलर भी हो रहे हैं, जनप्रिय हो रहे हैं, लोग उनको जा रहे हैं, देख रहे हैं. उसमें कई व्यक्तिगत पत्रकारों के चैनल भी हैं और कुछ संगठित वो भी है. लेकिन वहां भी एक दुर्भाग्य है कि जो नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार के खिलाफ हैं वो कांग्रेस के पक्ष में है, तो वो भी एक तरफा हो जाते हैं एक तरह से. सो दिस बिकम एक चैनल हुआ करता था एनडीटीवी. एनडीटीवी वाज प्रोजेक्टेड एज ए एंटी गवर्नमेंट चैनल, बट व्हेन अडानी बॉट इट, then the whole situation changed overnight. So now there's hardly any channel which you can watch which is not which is neutral actually. This was
There was one of our one of the people watching our show just put out a item where he says that he had asked people, yes, it's here, that how long is Jai Shankar going to stay? Jai Shankar has already broken all records in United States. Why is he gone there? Nobody knows. I know why he has gone there, but the government must announce why he's going there. And he's been sitting there. He's trying to see if he could meet Trump, and Trump has not been agreeable. Why should Trump do after you insulted him by saying, no, I'm not going to meet him?
Mhm.
Suddenly you want to meet him after he is becoming a presidential candidate. And one as a presidential candidate. So this is the thing. The issue is our whole party itself is now in a serious problem
Mhm.
because of that man, you see. We
And
can't allow that.
Dr. Swamy,
It's like what happened to parties when after Joseph Stalin was finished or Hitler was
absolutely.
finished. I mean, one person can ruin a complete party, and that's what's going to happen. There is no use talking about the cadre and this and that. You will be wiped out. It was done. It had happened before, and that was done by lies, which is when after Gandhi's assassination. But a massive organization had to go into hibernation. So we are going to be facing the same position. So to overcome that, we have to ask the people who are today in a position to that you want to go down and down, or you want to turn around and get fresh faces.
But Dr. Swamy, BJP has committed this harakiri once. They are not learning the lesson and doing the same thing. I mean, how you can make a mistake once time? You can't be stupid enough to make the mistake twice and be continuously making the same mistake. We're not allowed being a democratically elected despot now. So basically, this entire and any action, so Modi and the gang have learned the art of threatening people. At least even Congress was not this bad in using ED, CBs, raw, whatnot against their enemies. It was not this apparent. But in here, you just say, oh, Modi's shirt color is wrong. That guy gets ED raided. It's such a level of stupidity that we've stooped to this country that, we have unfortunately elected a party, but we got a despot as a leader. And that's where we are.
But we can blame Congress for being pusillanimous.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the entire political system.
They are not able to say anything against him.
Yes, Dr. Swamy, in spite of them increasing whatever from 44 to 99, which I feel they're not voicing, they're just coming in and creating ruckus instead of being objective. Be it the corruption, Dr. Swamy, the corruption is seen the highest levels today. We've discussed this with the Adani group. Now Modi goes to Kuwait, and the next day Kuwait says we're going to invest in Adani group. What kind of a nonsense is apparently corruption? And the entire country is just doing jumla and saying, oh yes, the Tali bajate hain, oh yes, this is a great thing. Modi has got money into India. What kind of? It's just disgusting to see that we have now legalized corruption. We have made the prime minister as a salesperson for Adani group. That's exactly how it appears to be. Globally, everybody's in Australia. There is a gentleman who speaks against Adani group. He openly said this. How can the leader of the country be a salesperson for the largest one of the largest corporations in India? So our reputation is India's reputation is going down the tube, Dr. Swamy. Last, I think we have 5 more minutes, Dr. Swamy. One most important topic, very close to both of you, especially Arvindji. ये GST और taxes का ये nonsense ये जो चल रहे हैं इंडिया में हर दिन कुछ तो GST चलाते हैं. Popcorn ले लो, salted popcorn ले लो, caramelized popcorn, this, that nonsense. I mean, this government, in spite of taxing normal, very, very few tax, honestly 1.8% or 1.6% ऐसा कुछ है ना अरविंद जी, ऐसा कुछ छोटा मोटा फिगर है जो आप टैक्स पे करते हैं उसके the people who are taxed the most are getting taxed more.
Right.
ये जो टैक्स का जो चल रहा है डॉक्टर स्वामी अभी 2025 में कुछ can we see something different? Do you think the leadership change is important to make a change happen significantly? Because this is affecting everybody, Dr. Swamy, because world over, it is You have said the simplest formula. Indirect taxes makes it easy. Just abolish income tax. ये इसके बारे में आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं डॉक्टर स्वामी?
This Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi, you have to bear it, because after all we brought him, and the only way it can go. After all, what is the problem? Why are we doing this? Because they feel that nobody is going to protest, so they're piling it on you. That's all that is going on. Let there be a rebellion, everything will change. But that rebellion should be done through a democratic process.
अरविंद जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
I want to say something about there is on the lighter side, there is a joke going on that a person goes to the loo, and when he comes out and pays money for using it, the person said, "Do you have diabetic? Are you diabetic? If yes, then 18% GST on sugar."
हालत हिस्सा इतना बुरा हो गया है.
We blame Nirmala Sitharaman, yes, but we can't also spare the members of the GST Council. What are they doing? The GST Council has representation from various state governments. I remember when GST was formed, Amit Mitra, who is the finance minister of West Bengal, he was heading it. But of course, now he is no more there. But there are other people representing states. Why are they silent? If Nirmala Sitharaman gets her way in everything, and even some of the things which are not sounding proper, then why these people are not opposing it? Of course, they also claim that it has crossed every month. They claim that this GST collection this month has crossed last year or broken the record of last year or whatever. But that is not the real indicator of the progress of the country. Dr. Swamy has already said GDP is going down. And yes, not only GDP is going down, Dr. Swamy, there have been very recently some research studies which have shown that disparity of the income and income distribution is also widening. Yeah. So poor are becoming poorer, and rich people are becoming richer, and nobody is thinking about that. Even for Manrega, the minimum wages is 300 and 400 rupees these days, when you can't get anything, and they get employment only for 100 days in a year. Just imagine what can a family do for 300 to 400 rupees per day for 100 days, where only one person in the family gets employment for 100 days. So, I mean, the other things on economy, people are not thinking, and the economy is taken a backseat. Nobody is even given importance. And opposition, of course, as we know, opposition is not capable of raising these
incompetent. Purely incompetent.
Yeah.
Dr. Swamy, so to close this topic, and then Arvind can conclude. 2025, what do you foresee? What do you think India can do so that it can regain or start getting back its its glory days? And given where we are today, quick 2-3 minutes, and then we can go down.
Well, in short, I will say that there will be an upheaval. Because these people have no clue that any such thing is happening. And the people who will revolt, it will all happen very suddenly. I've seen this before. It's not that India has not seen this kind of thing before. It will happen, and then out of that, something will come out. And that's all I would see. I don't see any reasoning or rethinking or sitting down together and decide what is it that we can agree on. Nothing of the kind. It's all bureaucrats plus the Prime Minister, nobody else.
Arvind,
we talk about Viksit Bharat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given a slogan for 1947, but who will lift up to 1947, nobody knows. But we must see that the proper income distribution takes place, and the per capita income of the country goes. We say we are third largest economy, very good. But what about per capita income of this country? We are 119th in the world. So just being size of because you have a population of 140 crores, that's why the economic size is third largest in the world. But what about per capita? So this is something very, very important. And we should pay attention to the economic development of this country, which has been ignored, I would say, in last 10 years of Narendra Modi government.
Arvind ji, Dr. Swamy, final words. Otherwise, we can have Dr. Arvind.
Let him conclude.
Okay.
I think one very important point was missed when we said that UP and Maharashtra, the Narendra Modi's party lost and significantly number of seats were reduced. Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, they had also shown the change. And Odisha, Biju Janata Dal was defeated and BJP came to power for the first time on its own. And Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu came to power after the formation of the government. These two were also significant. And when we talk about next year, again, politically, Delhi elections are due sometime in January, end of February, which is very, very important, and followed by elections in Bihar. Which way Nitish Kumar will go? Because people are already talking about the once again turnaround of Nitish Kumar because of the Ambedkar issue. Amit Shah's statement is not going well with the certain sections of the population in Bihar. Therefore, Nitish Kumar may again turn against me. That is again a speculation. And we must show there is some proud movement also for the 2024. India won T20, became world champion after a long time. So the credit should go to the Indian cricket team, Rohit Sharma. We got, after Vishwanathan Anand, we got another chess champion. Gukesh became was chess champion very recently. And there's another chess player, woman chess player, Koneru Hampi. She also won the title for the second time. So we have some proud movement also. And we would remember 2024 for some good things and some bad things. And let's look at future 2025, what future holds for us. And that depends on what extent government of India takes, in which direction they want to go. And what it seems in the last 1 year, the third term of the Narendra Modi government is clueless and directionless. With that note,
one last point before Dr. Swamy, sorry to interview. In terms of what we're seeing in 25, one issue is the number of rich people getting out of India is the highest level yet. Sorry, Arvindji, I know you're going to a conclusion, but significant. Because when you talk about the economy, we are expecting these so-called rich people to stay back. Or, what we know so far is so many people shifted in large numbers. But at the end of the day, they are the drivers of the economy. And you have incentivized them. And they're running away to places where they can live peacefully or not be harassed. That needs to change. Otherwise, the country is in a bad shape. Because I wanted to mention that when we conclude, saying that what we need to see in 2025 is stop the harassment of the people who are creating jobs. Stop the harassment of common people by just putting GST left, right, on center on everything. So, even after you die, I think there's going to be a CSC. That is the level to which this finance minister has stooped herself down into, put the entire nation in a quagmire. I think they have to, Dr. Swamy, as it said, it's not going to be a normal treatment. It has to be a Jatka treatment. That's what I see what you're saying. But this has to come out. People need to, they have to have something significant come out. But anyway, Dr. Swamy, one young chap who wants to, want you to wish him.
So, we wish him a happy birthday and many more birthdays to come. Okay. And all of that should lead him to a much higher level of his career.
Okay. Arvind, sorry to conclude.
Ramesh, let me just make one more point. In fact, I had said this about the income distribution. When the rich are becoming richer, people say, according to the statistics, India has now more billionaires as compared to China. China was a communist country. So number of billionaires in India is increasing also. And maybe there are certain sections which, because of taxation, want to leave India, and they think that India is no more.
No, but they are running away. What's the point of all these billionaires if they don't want to stay in
there are large migration taking place from away from India. Yes.
No,
And-
many are going due to the harassment that they get.
yes, correct.
I don't think anybody really loves to go leave India and go.
Yeah. I mean, either
This man, you can lead a much better life in India than you can in America, for example. So therefore they are going because they are harassed. Every day there is some inspector turning up and wanting money,
extortion.
going away. It's a total breakdown. The system is broken down.
Be the political system. I mean, we can talk for another few hours on what's wrong. But Arvindji, please conclude.
Thank you, Dr. Swamy, for initiating this discussion. Our large part of today's discussion was devoted to former Prime Minister Dr. MANMOHAN Singh. Dr. Swamy had more than 40-50 years relationship with him, and no better person than him to discuss about his work and his life. And then we reviewed year 2024. We have the positive sides and also the dark sides of this. And when we talk about dark side, it is mainly man-made. When we say man-made, it is basically government-made. So let's hope that 2025 will recover from the shocks which we received in 2024, whether it is economy or whether it is any other field. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ramesh Swamy, for anchoring the program. Thanks the technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Ajesh Nair, and Gurdat Shetty. This team has been doing wonderful work, and we have entered 254th episode of this program. We'll continue like this with the support of this team. Thank you very much. And like this, we'll be meeting next Sunday once again, 8 p.m. in this Indian Standard Time, like every other Sunday, with Dr. Subramanian Swamy with a new topic. Thank you very much, viewers. Till then, Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.
Jai Shri Ram.